Hello everyone, this is Jonathan with Resale World Technical Support, and this is a video on how to list your very first item on eBay. So the last video we covered how to set up the listing manager so that we can start adding our items to eBay. This video will cover creating our item and then listing the item to eBay, and finally what the item is going to look like on eBay. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our inventory module. I'll go to my account list at the top left here, and then I'm going to open up an account. So I'll start with John Doe here. We'll add inventory. And then I'll go ahead and use jacket as our first item. I'm going to fill out my attributes. We'll put in lucky for that. We'll put in large, and we'll say this is black. And then for our description, this is going to be just whatever would print out on the tag normally. So I can just say that this item includes extra buttons inside. So I'll go ahead and set our price here. We'll put in for $50 is what we're going to sell this in at the store. We can put in a retail price if we want. We can fill out everything else about the item. The most important thing you have to do is checkmark web item. Now, is it absolutely necessary to do this? No, it isn't. A web item entry person that's looking for this item can list the item on eBay without this checked. It just makes it a little bit easier because it's the very first thing that pops up. This item will appear in the add listing area, which we'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and click save here. And then we can go ahead and continue adding our items. One other thing to note is that you can add images to this item from here. You definitely can add a weight if you want. This is kind of like just going over as if it is a separate web item entry person that's going to be doing this. Either way, somebody's going to need to list the item physically on eBay. So what we'll do is we'll click on Listing Manager. And then I'm going to click on Add Listing. So here's the jacket that we just added. And then the other thing to note is that there may be other items in here for the web item entry person to go through and list. Apart from that, like I mentioned before, if the web item checkmark box was not checked, you can use this search at the very top like a simple search. So you can search for all lucky items, or you can search for account-item number. You can do pretty much anything you need to find the items that you need to list. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this item that we just created. And then for our marketplace, we're going to set this to eBay Buy It Now. If you'd like to create an auction instead, you can drop this down and select eBay, and that's just to create an auction. And you can, with the eBay auction there, you can also specify whether or not you want to buy it now in place as well. So basically, when somebody bids on the item, the buy it now option goes away. That's how that works. So I'll use buy it now for this example. We are going to click OK here. Now we can add more information that's specific to eBay. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some additional stuff here. I can weigh my item. So I can set the weight to, say this jacket weighs a pound. For HTML template, we're going to want to drop this down and select our eBay template that we want to use. So I'm going to use eBay Basic here. And we can add our images. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this or min-max this so I can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to click the Add button here to add my images. Now I'm going to go to Train Images because these are my fake images. And I'm just going to select a few of these. I can lasso a couple of these. I can also use the Control key to select more than one image, or Shift to select a bunch of images at the same time. A lot of these are new features that we have with Liberty 5. So we'll go ahead and click Open, and the images will appear to the right. If there's anything wrong with the image, you can double click on the image, and Liberty will let you change the contrast, the brightness. It'll let you rotate the image, and it will also let you resize the image. There's nothing wrong with this image, so I'm going to leave it alone. All right, so we filled out the key important things here. Now, the difference between eBay items and, say, listing to Shopify or ShopRW is there is an eBay info tab that you have to touch. So we're going to click on eBay info. And as you can see, it filled in a lot of information for me already. So this is my test account. We're going to use that as the eBay account. Note that I do have that other account in here that I can select, which is my real account. So I'll leave that out. I don't want to list anything there. And if we had more than one payment policy, return policy, shipping policy, we can select different ones. It just pulls in the defaults. And that's pulled directly from eBay policies. The category ID will normally be blank on the very first time that you enter in the item. But in this case, because I already filled it in, it pulled in the eBay category for me. So I'll show you this process real quick. So for the very first one, I'm going to select clothing, shoes, and accessories because I know this is a jacket. We'll drop this down. We're going to select women's clothing. The next one we'll select is jackets, if we can see it. Here we go, coats, jackets, and vests. And that's the last branch that I have to touch because eBay already knows what it is based on that last branch. So again, these categories come directly from eBay. You do have to select these because Liberty's categories are separate from eBay. So I'll go ahead and click OK on this. We can specify a condition. I'm going to say this is pre-owned. If this was an auction, we would set our starting bid. Now, this can be defaulted through the settings area that we went over before. The allow best offer option allows you to set whether or not you want to accept best offers from customers. So you can allow it and then set a decline. So let's say that this item is $51 right now. Maybe I want to go ahead and accept all offers that are above $40 or $45. So I'll set 45 here. And if anybody lowballs me or sets the price lower than 45, it'll just automatically decline. So that's how that feature works. A couple of the other options over the right do incur fees from eBay. So you select whether or not you want to boldface the title. Maybe you want to make it homepage featured. You can use a counter. You can also choose to include this in the gallery. The next option you have is to send the store category. If you're using an eBay store, you can use store categories with this. The final thing we need to make sure that we do is select our item specifics. So these are considered suggested attributes and basically item specifics that come from eBay. So I'm going to click on suggested attributes. So now it's going to download our item specifics. And as you can see, it was able to match the brand up for us. So at least that's filled in. Rule of thumb is anything in bold is required by eBay. So I'm going to drop down the size here and we're going to select large. We're going to drop down the style. I'll just select overcoat here. And then our size type is going to be regular. So you can choose to fill out all the other ones. These are just item specifics that came from eBay, but the bold ones again are the most important ones. So from here, we're pretty much done. We have two options. We can checkmark ready to list, and then the item will go up within about 5 minutes. This is the recommended method for eBay items. Mostly because if you were to list now, eBay will pop up a message that some things are missing naturally because that's just an informational thing. The item will still get listed. So again, I would recommend checkmarking ready to list. So I'm going to go ahead and checkmark ready to list here. And then we'll get to the point where it actually lists to eBay. I'll speed up the video. All right, so we're back. Let's go into listings here. And then there's my item. It's under the active tab. So a couple of things with the tabs is not ready means that you're missing something important like a weight or an image. Ready means that it's going to go online within 5 minutes. So anything under the ready tab is basically anything that's ready to go to eBay. And then finally, our active tab shows us what's currently on our marketplaces. So in this case, I have the eBay Buy It Now item that we just created. So the color coding can be set. If you hover your mouse over the colors, it'll tell you what each color means. And then if I want to view what this item looks like on eBay, all I have to do is right click on it and then view the listing. And here's our item. So obviously we want to use good quality pictures. These were smaller images that we use as an example. We have our item condition at the top. This is the price that we're listing the item at on eBay for Buy It Now. So it's $51, $50 that we originally had the price, plus an item fee that we added for $1, which is complete profit. Right here we have our Buy It Now option. If it was an auction, we would have an ability to make a bid. Here's our Make Offer button. So the Make Offer button again allows our customers to make an offer. And since we set it to $45 and above, any offer below $45 will get declined automatically. Our shipping, payment, and return policies are as indicated from our eBay Policies Center. And then if we scroll further down here, there's our item specifics that came specifically from eBay that we filled in. This is our special description that we added just for eBay, whereas we have our tag description down here. So you definitely can change this for Buy It Now items if you need to. We have our attributes coming directly from Liberty. And then finally, our item number, SKU, and condition description. This was a video on how to list an item on eBay.